Hi, we're going to do a little test today of a tracking generator. I wanted to show a little bit about the DSA series from RIGOL, the spectrum analyzers. So I have one of our 1030s, which is a 3 gigahertz spectrum analyzer. I've got an antenna, and I have my cell phone, and the cell phone is in airplane mode, so it's not transmitting. You'll notice we have a pretty flat spectrum here. So I'm going to enable my radio on my phone. If you just hold on one second. Get off of airplane mode here. So airplane mode is off, and you'll see that once we get full bars, we should get some transmission. And now we have a nice spike. I believe that that's at, let's do peak, 1.865 gigahertz. So now what I'd like to show is the tracking generator. I'm just going to turn my phone back off. And once the radio turns off, you'll see that the power goes down. So now I'm going to remove the antenna. And I'm going to connect just the tracking generator. I'll explain a little bit more about what a tracking generator does. So tracking generator it follows the input frequency, it's following the scan. So as the detector of the spectrum analyzer is scanning across frequency ranges, the generator is actually going to do the exact same thing. So if we enable that, it's at minus 10 dBm, and I'm going to turn it on. Now you'll see we have a flat line at minus 10 dBm, or relatively flat line over minus 10 dBm. Some of those values are due to the actual connections that we're using, and the actual output values from the tracking generator. I'm going to disable it. Tracking generators are useful for testing passive components such as filters, which is what I'm going to do here. We have a small test board, the RIGOL TX1000 RF demo kit, and it has a filter on it. So what I'm going to do, or in it I should say, I'm going to configure this. I'm going to connect it to the input before the filter. There are also some active components that we have available in another filter. I'm going to remove this. So again, I don't have this connected to anything. It's not going to be it's not going to be actively creating any kind of signal. We're going to use the tracking generator through the filter to then characterize this filter. And so now we'll enable that tracking generator, and you'll see now we have a peak. If we go peak, I'm going to go left. So now at 945 megahertz we have a peak. And so again, if we disable the tracking generator, you'll see we'll go back to flat, and I'll enable the tracking generator. Again, this is the characterization, this characterization over spectrum of that particular filter that we're testing.